Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a dolls I don't want video. If you haven't seen this series that I have done before, it's just a series where I take a look at upcoming or recently released dolls and I talk about the ones that I don't plan on buying. I do make review videos for like the dolls that I want because I usually buy the dolls that I want. And since you guys did request, I will also be doing a companion video for my next upload where I talk about the releases coming up slash like releases that have just come out that I do want. But for today, we're going to focus on the negative and we're going to talk about the dolls that for one reason or another, I just don't plan on purchasing. This might vary from, yeah, it's a cool doll, I just don't really love it, or it's kind of expensive, to I think it's but ugly. And we're going to talk about all of those things today. As per usual, if you guys do happen to disagree with me, totally chill. We're all humans who have our own opinions. Don't take anything I say personally, and just please don't be angry with me if I have a different opinion than you. But yeah, we have quite a few to delve into. I kept putting this video off because I kept waiting for stock photos for certain dolls, and I'm still waiting on some stock photos that I would have liked to include in this video, and knowing my luck, they're going to drop on the day this video goes up, because that honest to God happens almost every single time I make a dolls I don't want video. But yeah, I finally felt like I couldn't wait any longer, and realistically I probably should have gone a little bit earlier with this because there are so many things to talk about, so let's get into it. Also, quick little note that actually doesn't have anything to do with the content of this video. I'm pretty sure I fixed the issue that my camera was having focusing. At least I think it's better than my last couple of videos, so hopefully it's super good for you guys. If not, I'll keep tweaking it as I need to, but like, hopefully we've at least got some improvement. Anyway, though, we are going to be starting off with talking about Rainbow High. There's a lot of releases to talk about here, and I want to start off with I think it's the Winter Wonderland line is what they're calling it, and I don't like most of the dolls in the line, so let's just go ahead and start off talking about Skylar. First off, I just need to say the gimmick where there's like some sort of, I can't tell, or like I just haven't paid enough attention to know whether it's like a slime or like a fake snow or what it is, but you put it inside their clothes and it like puffs up more and it will be different colors. Personally, I think that is absolutely foul. Not only do I just not like the way that it looks, but also that just seems like a recipe for mold and mildew in the hands of kids, especially. That just, it doesn't seem like a good idea, because it was one thing with the like reboot dolls that they did where it's like, hey, put this in the shoes or in this bag, where it's like a hard plastic. Still don't love it, but I kind of get it more. But with like a softer clothing piece, I just feel like there's no way you're going to be able to get all of that out, and like it's going to leave residue. I don't know. Maybe I'm being negative, but that whole premise I'm not here for. Anyway, though, Skylar specifically, I it's not even that I hate this. I'm just honestly really confused by it. Like the mermaid tail specifically, okay? Because this is a Winter Wonderland themed line. Why is she a mermaid? Like, I love mermaids. I love mermaids so much, and I don't dislike the way that this tail looks on her. I just think this should have been for some sort of costume line instead of a Winter Wonderland theme. It just doesn't really make sense to me. I think the rest of her like clothing pieces are honestly really unremarkable from what I can tell. Like the jacket doesn't look bad quality. It just doesn't excite me. I don't know about the heels, because like they go fine to me with the tail, but also open-toed heels in winter, you're going to be cold. Like you're going to be freezing your little tootsies off. I don't know. I'm just mostly confused by her. I don't think that she's terrible, but I certainly won't be buying her. Next up is Sunny, and I don't think that this is a bad doll. I would say that this is a doll I could see myself changing my mind about. Like if I saw her in person and she just is exceptionally more beautiful than she is in the stock photos, I could definitely see that happening, right? Like I could see myself admitting that I was wrong and wanting to get this doll. But I just don't feel super strongly right now, especially at full price. I'm just not sure. I think her floor length coat is really fun. I feel like her shoes look a little bit kiddish, but they're not terrible. The skirt is kind of fun to me. Like I just kind of like the puffiness of it. The sweater vest and the button up. Why could I not think of the word button? Hello. The button up underneath, I think, is definitely a vibe. Like that's a tried and true premise in fashion, I guess you could say. My issue is that this just doesn't feel especially like Sunny, which is crazy because I feel like even on budget releases or like more budget releases, Rainbow High has consistently known how to dress Sunny Madison for the most part. Like I've talked in the past about how I don't think that Rainbow High is very consistent with the stylistic choices for their characters, but Sunny almost always looks like Sunny, right? Like she almost always has that very clear like kawaii aesthetic where she's got like accessories and cutesy stuff. And I just don't feel that with this. Like I think the skirt kind of works. I think the jacket could definitely work with some more accessorizing, and I think the shoes are fine. But I'm not feeling Sunny vibes from this, and I'm not feeling excited enough to be like confidently, yeah, I want this doll. So for now, she's on the dolls I don't want list. And then the last doll to talk about for this video is going to be the Bella doll. And this is super unfortunate because I think that her base doll is so pretty. I feel like the makeup looks so nice on her. I love her hairstyle. These all do seem to have some sort of tinsel in their hair, which I know is a like deal breaker for a lot of people. Me personally, I like glitter, so I will accept tinsel all the time, basically. I think the base doll is absolutely gorgeous, but this outfit is just an absolute disaster. She's got like this weird hoodie situation, which like fine. I like hoodies. That's chill. But she's got that underneath this like pleather looking jacket, which is very similar to something I think she already came with in her base doll, if I'm not mistaken. Like it's definitely something we've seen Bella in before. And then this big fat like 3-layered ball gown that has a very slight high low so you can still see her open-toed shoes. I just every single piece of this outfit came from a different doll. Like none of this design looks cohesive. None of it makes sense. I don't understand why for again a Winter Wonderland line you would do a ball gown skirt. Like I just truly don't understand what they were thinking. I think this one is really rough, which is sad because again, I think the base doll is actually so pretty. But it's gonna be a pass for me. Then we have the second line of the color and create dolls from Rainbow High. The first one had markers, and this one is like a tie-dye thing, which I do think is a fun concept. Like I think that is an interesting way to do the dolls. Very curious to see if that actually works on like the plastic pieces that are the shoes, because I don't really associate tie dyeing with working on like that sort of plastic, but I absolutely could be wrong. Maybe they do something special with it. What I really like about these is that they all come with different articles of clothing. With the first line of the color and create dolls, they all had like the same outfit pieces. So if you wanted all 3 dolls, so you could have all 3 of the base dolls, you ended up with a lot of duplicates of the clothing, which like could be good or could be bad. But I do think it's a lot more fun that these dolls come with different types of clothing just because it keeps things a little bit more interesting. However, I don't intend to buy any of them, or at the very least, I definitely won't be buying any of them at full price. I could see myself potentially getting one on like a super sale just so that I have a doll that I could customize, but I don't plan on buying any of them, mostly because while I appreciate the fact that they have different clothing pieces, I don't particularly like most of them. This first one, she is the brown haired, or not brown haired, they all have white hair, brown eyed version of the color and create doll for this line. I do think her halter top is quite cute. Like, I like that piece, but I definitely do not like the skirt that she comes with. So, for me, at least, again, at full price, it's just not worth buying. The doll that I'm most likely to buy is this kind of purpley blue eyed one. I couldn't find a photo that was just like her without her pieces already dyed, but just imagine this all in white. I think that these are the pieces that I'm most interested in. I like the mold of the shoes, and I think the hoodie is cute, the skirt's fine. So this is probably the doll that I would be most likely to change my mind on, just because I think the pieces are ones that I'm most likely to actually enjoy using. But again, I don't like her enough to pay full price. And then the last doll is very much giving Robin Sterling. She's got the bright blue eyes, and I mean, her pieces are fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with them, but it just doesn't really call to me. So again, not one that I'm going to be purchasing. Oh, goody. We get to talk about the worst part of the video, which is the Rainbow High Littles. On the one hand, I'm so excited to finally rant about this. I honestly thought about making a dedicated video for these, and I just didn't end up doing it. But also, I hate the fact that I have to look at these dolls. So Rainbow High is making budget little sister versions of, I shouldn't say versions of, they're making like budget little siblings for the main cast of Rainbow High. And I just think it's awful. A lot of people have pointed out that G2 of Monster High did this as well, and it was an absolute flop. So it's kind of wild that now we're seeing it with Rainbow High, and definitely still think it's going to be a flop. They're kind of like the, is it Chelsea? I think it's Chelsea. Chelsea's that come, or not come with, but like you can get alongside Barbie, like the little kid ones. They're definitely meant to be little kids and they're meant to be budget. And I understand all of that, but my God, are they hideous. And also, it is slightly different because the littles are siblings to existing Rainbow High characters rather than like where Junior High was the younger versions of those characters. However, I do think it's very confusing because I feel like Junior High wasn't like exceptionally well received. Like, I don't think it was terrible. I don't think that everyone hated it. But I think that when you compare it to baseline Rainbow High, it just didn't do as well. So it's interesting to me that MGA would kind of double down on that and be like, oh, you didn't adore Junior High. Like, I could be off base. Actually, maybe they did really well. I just didn't get that impression. And so to me, in my head, it's like MGA saying, oh, you didn't really like Junior High. Let's make them different characters technically. Let's make them even younger and even less detailed, and then you'll love it. Like, what? It just doesn't make sense. I also didn't bother gathering the names for these dolls because I just hate them with a fiery passion. This first one, though, I think is supposed to be the little sister of Stella. She looks very much like Stella. You'll notice that they do appear to have painted on eyes instead of the inset eyes that we know and love with Rainbow High, which like does make sense, I guess, for a smaller budget doll, but also it just feels wrong. And shockingly, this one's going to have the most high quality clothing out of all the ones we look at in the video, which is a horrible thing to have to say. I just think she looks uncanny and terrifying. There's not very much articulation at all on these dolls, and it only gets worse. Here is Sunny's little sibling. Dear God, you'll notice that the top is plastic, which is the case for most of these dolls. I think the only reason that the one that's kind of like Stella has fabric is because it's like a whole dress, but not for Sunny. Sunny gets a molded on top, plastic top. It might not be molded on. You might be able to remove it, but it is a plastic top, which is not chill. She's also making this pose, specifically with the elbows as straight as humanly possible, which is uncomfortable. Like, this is not a natural position for people to hold this. Like, if you're going to do a peace sign, like, you're usually going to have your elbows at least slightly bent just because that's like a more comfortable position to hold your arms. This is not how people stand. Am I crazy? Like, that's not how people do this. And she's stuck like that because she doesn't have articulation. I do think that the peace sign hand mold is cute, but it's so, like, her wrist is literally at a 90-degree angle. Like, that ain't right. That's just not right. I don't understand. Everything about this is awful. And it keeps going. So this one is, I think, Amaya's little sister. I mean, the outfit isn't the worst. I do think that it looks like it might actually be fabric, so kudos to that. What in the fuck is that hairstyle? Like, I'm all for ingenuity with hairstyles, but it very much looks like she did it herself. Like, this doesn't look like an adult who's, I mean, obviously it's not an adult, but you know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't an adult who's playing around with different hairstyles and like making a fashion statement with a unique or different hairstyle. This is a toddler who did her own hair and did it poorly. And it looks like it. It's just so bad. I just hate it so much. This next one, I want to say maybe this is supposed to be Crystal's sibling. I'm not 100% sure. I like the hair blend for the braids. That is literally the nicest thing that I can say about this. The outfit is atrocious. The top, again, is plastic. It's just bad. And then the last one, oh no, I lied. There's still one more. Good God. Okay. Skylar's little sibling. The hair's not horrible, but the top is plastic. There's no details. And the faces are just so uncanny. They're so uncomfortable. Like, oh, they just look so bad. And the actual last one here is Violet's little sibling. And I think it's low-key comical that Violet always seems to get the short end of the stick when it comes to Rainbow High. And somehow the same can be said for her sister, because none of this matches. Absolutely none of this is the same color. She's got that kind of bluish purple mix of hair where there is like literal blue in her hair. And instead of going with that, she's got these bright, like pinkish purple boots, the plastic top with the good vibes and the rainbow on it, these weird washed out shorts. Like none of it goes together. And I just think it is genuinely hilarious that someone on the Rainbow High team hates Violet so aggressively that they also hate her sibling. I have to laugh about something because this is just beyond unfortunate in terms of like it being a release that exists. I wish that these dolls didn't exist. I'm sorry, I just hate this. Like normally I try to be a little bit kinder with my opinions and it's like, oh well, if it makes you happy, that's chill. And like it still is, but these are ugly. Anyway, though, there's still a couple more things to talk about for Rainbow High. And it's time for me to stop judging the littles. So now we're going to talk about the styling head that's coming out. I want to say this is a Maya because the colorful streaks in her hair, but like the makeup is giving Bella. I don't know. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to purchase it. This also feels very uncanny to me. I think she also has painted eyes. I don't know. The arms feel like an awkward, like, proportion. The molded on top. To be fair, styling heads are almost never for me. I've, in fact, never bought a styling head. I don't even remember having one as a kid. Like, it's just never been something that I've really been into. So maybe I'm being harsh, but I don't like this. And then lastly is this Rainbow High locker playset, which I really only included because it does seem to come with accessories for the dolls. There's a bag and like a little coffee and some shoes. Like if this were just like a sticker playset, I wouldn't have brought it up in this video because I just don't talk about those. But it's supposed to be a doll accessory, so I figured I should talk about it. And this one makes me sad because honestly, like earlier on in Rainbow High's run, I feel like you absolutely could have sold a whole set of these lockers if it was like themed to each of the characters and they all come with maybe one extra piece of clothing in that character's color and like the locker's personalized like them. Like imagine Sunny's locker where it's just plastered with stickers and then there's like a cute little outfit piece for her on the inside, maybe like a jacket that she can throw on her like outfit if she's getting cold. And then Ruby would have one, and Ruby's locker would look completely different. Maybe like Poppy's, because she's supposed to be into music, would have like butterflies and music notes all over it. That would have been so cute in like peak Rainbow High. However, we're pretty clearly not there anymore, and I just don't like this. I feel like the accessories that it comes with, like the locker itself is kind of cute. The accessories that it comes with though are so lackluster that it just doesn't feel worth it to me. So I will not be purchasing. That is finally everything from Rainbow High. Now we get to focus on LOL, and for this video, we are only going to be talking about the tweens because there is an OMG release, but that's going to be in the more positive video. So first off, there are going to be some budget LOL tween mermaid dolls, and I understand the complaints on these, and I honestly do share them. We've already lost some articulation with like some LOL dolls in the wrist, and that really sucks. With these, because they are budget, you also don't have articulation in the elbows. And then the mermaid tail doesn't have any bend at the knee. It just has like the hip, and it looks like the fin might move. So there is very, very limited articulation on these, which I do understand is a huge bummer. Like I also love articulation, so I am disappointed to see it. However, they are budget dolls, which, you know, is it kind of always comes with the removal of articulation, and they're mermaids, and low-key there's at least one of them that I think is kind of cute. So I'm going to talk obviously about the ones that I don't want in this video, but I'm not going to be as hard on these as like you might expect. They do also have plastic tops, but I genuinely can't tell if they're molded on or not. Like that kind of blows if they are molded on. But anyway, the first one that I don't feel like getting is the Cleo Cove doll. I think that she's okay. Like, I don't dislike her. Basically, my thing is that I realistically can't see myself buying more than one of these, and she's just not my favorite. Obviously, again, my favorite will be addressed in a separate video. So I don't think that she's terrible. I don't necessarily love the belt that she has. Like, that just doesn't quite vibe for me. And I don't know if I love the green in her hair with the other colors that are already present on the rest of her design. But, like, she's okay. And then the next one is the Lola Waves doll. Honestly, like, I like her design except for the hair bow. I don't know. I just don't feel like it matches. I don't get it. I like the color of her tail a lot. And I could just take the hair bow off, but again, there's another one that I like more. There is another one that we don't have stock photos for yet. I want to say her name is Serena something. So, jury's out on her. I don't really know. But for now, those are the ones that I don't want. And then also from the LOL Tweens, we are getting I wrote the name down. It's the costume surprise line. I've been thinking of it just as the inflatable LOL Tweens dolls, but it is a costume surprise line. I will say I think this is a very interesting gimmick because the like big blow up animal, believe it actually blows up. Like it actually works like an inflatable, like almost Christmas decoration type situation, which is different. It's unique. I'll give them that. However, I just don't feel like it's necessary. Like the whole thing is that the doll is within that costume and they get revealed. But I thought we were kind of leaving reveal gimmicks behind. Like I feel like those have been becoming less popular lately. And so it's kind of bizarre to me for the LOL tweens to be returning to a big reveal gimmick. And then it also just bothers me because even if you wanted to go like back to the roots of LOL surprise and keep doing like a reveal thing, most of the reveals have been very just much like, oh, this doll's hidden, or like their clothing pieces are in bags so you can't see it all right away. And that kind of makes sense because it's not super high budget. It has like some elements of fun and surprise in there, but it doesn't really take away budget from the doll that much. Whereas this had to have taken so much budget away from the actual dolls. And I do feel like it shows. I want to say this one is Aya Cherry. I also didn't double check the names on these because I'm not getting them and I didn't care enough. And I just feel like you can tell that she doesn't look that detailed. Also, she does not have the same aesthetic that she used to, which really does bother me. Like, if you give a character a very clear aesthetic, I would like for them to keep having that aesthetic. It just kind of bothers me. And like she's got plastic pieces. It's just a lot. The next one I want to say was Alley Dance. And in this image, you can kind of see how the reveal happens. But again, she just looks really lackluster to me, if I'm being honest. And the last one that I have a stock photo for, I think there's another one, but I couldn't find like a stock photo of, is Emma Emo, who I think looks frankly terrible. Like her hair isn't the worst. And I do like cats, so you'd think I'd have a huge bias for her. But that skirt is so ugly. And you can just really see with these that there is so much focus on the inflatable aspect that the dolls themselves suffered. Maybe that will be fun for kids. I'm not really sure how long that would last for them, like how long that would still be interesting for them. Because, like, you can reuse the inflatable aspect, which is at least one good thing. Like, it's not just wasteful. I just don't know if I buy that kids would be interested long enough for it to justify the doll suffering for the sake of the surprise element. But that's just me. So I'm not buying any of these. And even though I don't have a stock photo for the last one, I can pretty much assure you I won't be buying that either. Yes, we are still going. I'm so sorry. This video is going to be so long. Anyway, next up is Barbie. And we're going to talk about the new Barbie Dream Besties, which are kind of like replacing, a lot of people feel like, the extras line, because Barbie extra line did get canceled. And now we are getting these, kind of like where that might have been. I do think the base dolls are quite cute. It's just sad because all four of these, I think the outfits are absolutely hideous. This is Malibu Barbie. I probably like her shirt the most just because I think it's kind of interesting, but I don't like it enough to want to buy it. And then next up is Brooklyn Barbie, who definitely has my favorite base doll. I just think her makeup is absolutely beautiful, and I personally like the rainbow tinsel in her hair. I'm not obsessed with the styling that we've been given, but I feel like I could restyle it and really, really enjoy her if I redressed her. So again, I'm not going to get her at least full price. Like maybe if they went on a big sale, I would get this doll to redress, but I don't care about genuinely any of her outfit pieces or accessories. So it's just like, I'm not going to pay full price for this doll, right? Then we have got Teresa. She's okay. That's really the most that I can say. With all of these, it's very interesting to me. Again, when I did my video fixing, quote unquote, the Barbie extras dolls, I pointed out on a very long tangent that Barbie seems to be like allergic to having visual weight in the bottom half of a doll. Like they always have long hair or very voluminous hair, and then like a shirt and a jacket, or like a layered shirt situation. And then it is always like shorts or a skirt, and usually very low visual weight shoes. Sometimes they'll do like a fat boot or something, but for the most part, all of the visual weight is held in the top half of the doll. And I think it is extremely interesting that that is still happening with this new line of Barbies. Taking a look back, sorry, I'm off on my tangent again, but Barbie has like the voluminous curls. She's got a puffy top with big fat sleeves, shorts, and little dainty heels. Probably Brooklyn is like the most balanced, but she still has like the two ponytails that are like very lengthy, and so it kind of like weighs down on the top. She's got a jacket with huge puffy sleeves, and the only thing different about her design is that she does have molded on leg warmers, so that adds a little bit of visual weight to the bottom, but like not much. Obviously, Teresa has the layered top and then very like voluminous kind of curly wavy hair, just shorts and little heels. And then lastly is the Renee doll, who probably my second favorite in terms of the base doll. But again, like the pigtails are long, so they add visual weight at the top. The shirt is layered, and then she's just got these kind of dainty looking shoes. I mean, they're a little bit chunkier. I don't know. That's really unimportant, but I do find it just incredibly fascinating that that is such a trend within like the designs that Barbie gets. Really not something I needed to talk about, but here we are. Anyway, though, I will definitely not be buying any of these at full price just because I don't think that the outfits are anywhere near interesting enough for me to want them full price. I would hope to get Brooklyn at some point on a super sale just because I do think she would look really cool redressed. But for now, I'm writing these off. Next up, still in Barbie territory, we are actually going to be talking about a collector doll, and that is the Couture Ken doll. I didn't buy this. I don't even know if he's still available. And even if he is, I won't be buying him just because of the price point. I actually think this is a really fun doll. I like the pretty monochromatic color scheme. I love the sort of mix of different fashion elements with this big oversized coat and like the chunky shoes, but then the sort of suit underneath. That's just very fun to me. I think it's very, very well designed. I just don't want to pay, I think, like $100 for this. Plus, I'm pretty sure this is part of the Barbie signature on Mattel Creations. So that would mean that I have to also get the membership, which is $10. And like, it's not the worst thing ever, but that means this doll would cost me $110 plus shipping. And I like him, but I don't like him $110. Okay, switching brands again. We are making steady progress through here. Next up, we are taking a look at the Monster High dolls that belong on this list, starting off with the SDCC Dead Fast Ghoulia doll. I'm not really going to get into it because I did a whole dedicated video on my thoughts on this doll, but basically, she's not for me. Like that's, if I need the most succinct way to describe it possible, she's just not for me. Next up is the Welcoming Committee Frankie, which is a very confusing doll to me because like I think the Welcoming Committee is like supposed to be like welcome to the school, but also there's a lot of elements in here that feel very much like it's meant to be sort of pride representative. There's a lot of rainbows. Their shoes say be yourself, be unique. Like, and obviously Frankie within the canon of G3 Monster High is sapphic and non-binary. So like it feels very much like a pride sort of thing, which is super duper. I'm always for it. But they're still not available. Like, I think this doll you can order on Amazon, but they aren't in stock, so they won't ship yet. And I don't think that we've seen, as of time of filming, a ship date, which is just very odd to me. Like, I'm just confused, I guess, about the logistics of this release. But talking purely on the aesthetics, I do think this is a perfectly cute doll. I honestly don't have anything actually negative to say about this Frankie. I just personally don't think that I feel strongly enough to want to spend money on them. Like, I try to be as mindful as possible in a hobby that is like inherently consumeristic. I obviously buy a lot of dolls. And so I try to look at these and really make sure that when I'm purchasing a doll, it's going to give me the emotional payoff that makes it worth it to like add to my collection and spend that money on. So while I do think that they look perfectly cute in this design, I just don't feel like I'm going to get that much if I were to buy them. And so there's nothing wrong with this doll. I think Frankie looks spectacular, but I'm just not going to buy it. Okay, then we have the RuPaul doll. This was like a collector doll. It was on Mattel Creations, but also Amazon. I'm not sure if it's still available or not. Obviously, this is a collaboration with the drag queen RuPaul, and this kind of was inherently not for me. I know absolutely nothing about drag. Like, I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that. I understand the concept of drag, and I am familiar with some of the really big names in drag, but I don't like watch RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't like go to drag shows. I don't have anything against it whatsoever. It's just not something that personally interests me. So like inherently this doll was not designed for me. I will say I feel like they got the expression down really well from what I have seen of RuPaul, and I actually think that the dress is really fun. Like, if this doll were significantly cheaper, I would buy it so I could have that dress just to put on someone else because I think it's really cool. So like, it is what it is. I just truly like this was not for me, and so I didn't buy it. Oh, that's the end of Monster High. Okay. I got kind of blindsided there. Sorry. Next up, we're talking about kind of a new brand, or rather a returning brand, and that is the new Yummy Land dolls. So there are two varieties of these dolls. There's the like little mini ones, and then there's full size ones. Full disclosure, we're going to be going through all of these pretty rapid fire here because there's only one out of both sets that I actually want. So that'll be featured in another video. But looking at the little mini ones, I don't know any of their names. I'm really bad about that today. But this one's like a pink little one. The little ones do come with, actually, do the big ones too? I think they do. A gimmick with these dolls is that you can make lip gloss, which I do think is kind of fun. Like, that's the kind of gimmick that I remember toys having when I was a kid. And so I'm a little bit nostalgic for it. Like, I do just kind of think it's a super cute concept. These also look like they can be keychains, the smaller dolls. So that's quite cute. Or maybe it's like the lipstick goes on the keychain. I don't know. Either way, I'm here for it. They are like limited mobility, all like plastic stuff, like the hair is plastic. I think the clothing is removable though. I don't know. There's just something kind of charming about these. This pink one, not for me. Even though I do think, like I said, there is something kind of charming about these. I just don't really particularly vibe with the pink one. Essentially, much like the tweens, I want to buy one of these dolls because I'm kind of curious. And I guess I could see myself change my mind if I really like that one and wanting to get more. But for now, all the others are on this list. So then there's this one that is kind of blue and white. Another one that's quite cutesy in terms of aesthetic, and it's fine. This is probably my second favorite one out of the little ones, this like orange themed one. I want to say the scent is peach for her, which is really cute. I just think her outfit's adorable. And first of all, these all have like semi-transparent hair, which I love that so much. I just want to kind of chew on it if I'm being honest. But I love her little like puffs. I think that's absolutely adorable. So if I were to change my mind and want to get more than one, this would definitely be the second one that I buy. Then we have this purple one here. I do think her fuzzy top is quite cute. I don't really have anything else to say. And then the blue one here. This one's also nice. I like her blueberry hair clips. She's cute. She's just not like my top one. And then the bigger dolls, I'm kind of writing off entirely just because for me personally, I feel like this style is cute when it is in miniature. It kind of enters almost baby doll territory when they get too big and they're in this very like childish, simplified design. And I'm just not here for that. No shade if you are, like that's chill. It's just that they're not for me. These dolls do have almost the exact same outfits, I believe, as the like smaller versions of their characters, but they do have rooted hair. So there's like this blue one with the rooted hair and the proper blueberry clips, which is cute, but just not for me. And then this one here, it looks like she has more like color in her hair. I feel like on the miniature one, I mean, I guess she did have the stripes, but I feel like it's more prominent on this one. So that's cool that there's like a more fun hair blend. The pink I personally find a little bit more obnoxious on the big doll. I don't know. The one that I really want to talk about is the like orange themed one, like the peach one, for a couple of reasons. One, I still think this is really cute. I do think her flower crown is absolutely precious. However, this is just Georgia Bloom from Rainbow High for sure. And like a lot of these definitely are giving Rainbow High vibes. Like the bright pink one, very much Stella Monroe. The blue one with pigtails is very much giving Skylar, which is super funny to me. Like I just think it's very interesting that they feel so similar. And this one strikes me as the most similar personally. Very aggressive Georgia vibes. But also, my bone to pick with this is that the mini version of this doll has the cute little Afro puffs. Where are they? Why did you root her with like just light, vaguely curled hair? You could have given her cute little puffs. That one bothers me. That one actually genuinely bothers me because the opportunity was right there to do like a cute textured hairstyle, and they literally did it on the small one and just didn't follow through on the big one, and I don't feel like that's a great vibe. So yeah, that's not exclusively why I'm not buying this one, but it does contribute. And then finally, we are on the last brand. I feel like I've been talking for forever, but we have to talk about a couple of more Pixlings dolls that we've gotten stock photos from. So the first one is the Magic Mixies Pixlings Galaxy Hair Dearly doll. What a mouthful. I do think that the base doll is insanely cute. I feel like they've knocked it out of the park again with the face, which they literally have every single time. The Pixlings faces are just absolutely top tier. I think the ears are really cute, the way they like swoop down, the antlers and like the hair color, all of that's really nice. I just think this outfit is unbelievably lackluster. And that hurts me to say. Pretty much all of the Pixlings outfits are like fairly simple. There's a molded on top, and then the bottom, for the most part, is like just a little something something. But for some reason, this one just genuinely feels and looks cheap to me. So unfortunately, I will not be buying the Galaxy Hair Dearly doll. And then the other one that I wanted to feature in this video, and the one that we're going to close out the video with, is the new Unia doll. Unia? 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 Unia. I don't know how you say it, but it was the unicorn character from back in Wave 1 of the Magic Mixies Pixlings. She's gotten a new look, and then this time she also has like a unicorn Pegasus dragon thing that she comes with, which I do think is kind of fun for them to be expanding the Pixlings and giving them like this little set with a animal like critter companion. I do think that's cute. Honestly, I could be persuaded to change my mind about this one. She's got like a very rainbow aesthetic, and I think it's done very, very well. I feel like her dress is quite cute. I honestly don't have anything concrete to say negatively about her. I'm just not 100% sold. Maybe after watching videos of other people unboxing her, or maybe if she were to go on sale, I would want her more. Only time will tell, but for now, she's in the dolls I don't want category. Oh, but yes, guys, that is finally it. That is finally everything I needed to go over. I definitely should have made this video sooner. I'm just so bad at like timing these videos and planning them out, but here we are. We've made it through. I've talked about all the dolls that I want to discuss today. Definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I'm always curious to see what y'all think of my list, and be on the lookout for my first dolls I do want video, which like I said will be the next upload after this one, and it'll be kind of like the more positive counterpart. So that'll be fun and interesting. I've never made one before. Hopefully it goes well. I don't know, only time will tell, and obviously you guys will tell me as well. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or night, whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.